Wetin be your right? Join the Whispers Sabi Your Right. Make we talk everything wey concern human rights, security, oppression, and injustice. The Whispers Sabi Your Rights is brought to you by Whisper to Humanity, sponsored by Action Aid Tech for Democracy Project. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0815 401 4746. The Whispers Sabi Your Right.
Whisper to Humanity is a youth-led feminist organization. It's led by young people for young people. It's basically about feminism. It's basically about human rights.
You get right. Wetin be your right? Join the Whispers Sabi Your Right. Make we talk everything wey concern human rights, security, oppression, and injustice. The Whispers Sabi Your Rights is brought to you by Whisper to Humanity, sponsored by Action Aid Tech for Democracy Project. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0815 401 4746. The Whispers Sabi Your Right.
The Whispers. The Whispers. The Whispers. Whispers. We want to change the narrative. Whispers. Change the narrative, and we want you to be involved. Whispers. We want to change the narrative. Change the narrative.
Are you seeing me? Okay.
Prosperity Humanity is a youth-led feminist organization. It's led by young people for young people. It's basically about feminism. It's basically about human rights.
You get right. Wetin be your right?
It's another Thursday again, right here. And of course, we're ready again. You know what happens every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. I get to take you on that segment inside the tripod right here that is tagged Sabi Your Right. It is a youth-led it's a youth-led program that is fully packaged by Whisper to Humanity organization, a youth-led feminist organization that are here to always buttress and make you know those basic things that you are being apportioned to as a human being. There are some things that should be your basic rights. You're not supposed to beg person to give you am normally, just because you're a human being, not because you're a male or because you're a female, but because you're a human being. There are some things that, bro, they're supposed to give them to you, not because the way you go beg. And for the very first edition, we had a mini introduction. And for the second one, we introduced the VAP law. Yes, the Violence Against Persons law that was passed on the 12th day of December. I hope I'm not wrong, 2021. And we had the first edition, we divided the VAP into two. The first time we had a CSO expert, an activist from the civil society organization, who would come and give us that particular topic from a civil society angle. And then last week, Thursday, we had the part two or the season two, episode two of that particular topic. But this time around, we looked at it from a law enforcement agent's view. But today, I'm glad to say that we have moved on from the Violence Against Persons bill, and I hope that we've been able to create enough awareness out there to inform people of this bill. Because truth be told, there are less than 20% of people who even know or who even knew that a VAT bill was in existence in the state. But today, we're going to be talking about the civic responsibility of youth in preparation of the 2022 International Youth Day that is slated for the 12th of August. And today, the Whisper to Humanity came with a guest who is a public analyst and who would be hearing it from the horse's mouth. So it is actually better to have somebody in a field. And that is what Whisper to Humanity team does every Thursday. So it better say you hear that from person with Sabiam Because if I tell Una, I know say me and I play full my mouth, Una no go take me seriously. But today they have a guest who is a public analyst and will be here to give you the lecture on your civic responsibility as a human being as well. So just as the government and people around you owe you your basic human rights, that is the same way that you owe some responsibilities to the government and to people around you. But then I think I've talked for a while and I would want our guest to introduce himself. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Such a handsome young man with white hair. Looking so good. How are I?
Oh, good afternoon, Nemo State. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm fine, Chili. You know, I'm here to talk about our civic responsibilities as youth, especially. I'm focusing on youth today because in the spirit of the International Youth Day coming up tomorrow, I want us to, ask after the program. Let's ask ourselves some questions. Am I part of the problem? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough to better this country? Because it's not every day we shout government is corrupt, government is not doing this, government is not doing this. But there are basic things that we need to do as human beings, as youths, as responsible youths. These are things that will help the government, because the government is not everywhere, especially now that we don't even have the local government system in place in most of the states. So the government cannot be in the state capital and be in every part of the state. It's the responsibility now lies with us, the youths, to get involved. Okay, let me not get to that point. Anyway, as the program progresses, we'll get to that point, okay? Because it's very long. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Ifeanyi, welcome to today's show. For Whisper to Humanity team to pick you to be the person who would represent them, it means that they trust your angle of judgment. So, since they are all about the human rights, the civic responsibility, is it like things that are compulsory, that are expected from the youth, or is something that if you don't do it, you can get away with it? Because people really, the thing we say, big English, they cause plenty problem. Civic responsibility, which easier way or which lesser English where say the person where they for market where they sell stockings, we not really nothing be civic responsibility, where in owe to in society. Which other, or simply put, in layman's language, what is civic responsibility?
Okay, let me explain it how everybody will understand it. Civic responsibility, let me use the market woman as an example. Now, the marketplace, now they have said on Saturday from morning 8 a.m. to 12 noon, they are going to clean it. Your civic responsibility is coming out to participate, because if you don't clean it, that environment will be dirty for you and your customers. That is just what civic responsibility is. If you don't do it, nobody will arrest you for not doing it. But if you don't do it, it will have adverse effect on the community, on your business, on your personality, on the nation as a whole. Okay, let me give example of some of the civic duties, civic responsibilities. Now we're almost getting into electioneering period. They have been shouting, go and get your PVCs, go and get your PVCs. Up to the day it was ended, I'm sure in Imo State, I'm sure more than 1 million youths did not get their PVC. But this thing, that have been saying it for this thing has been continuous for years now. People didn't do it because we don't see it as important.
Yeah.
You understand me? Now, voting is your civic responsibility as a human being, as a youth. If you don't, how do we get bad leaders? We get bad leaders because good people refuse to participate in the process. Now, if you go to the polls and vote, there is at least a 95% chance that you are going to vote for the right candidate, the person you feel like is going to perform well. But when you don't participate in this voting, in these elections, you've not done your civic responsibility. And the bad leaders who emerge from maybe sharing money and all those things, from manipulating the system. And when they emerge, the economy will crumble. There will be insecurity like we're witnessing in Nigeria today. This still didn't start today. It started because people refused to do simple things they were supposed to do. Go out and vote. Now you see, if you go to INEC registration, you see more than in a state. In Imo State, for instance, you see up to 2 million voters, 3 million registered voters. On election day, you don't even see up to 400,000 people come out to cast their votes. Do you understand me? What happened to the other people? What happened to the other ones? That is one aspect of the civic responsibility. Then another one is staying informed. Staying informed is very important because in this age of fake news everywhere, you just open your Facebook, open your social media, and just see one bizarre story. And if you're not informed, to ask yourself certain questions, like, where is this story coming from? Is it from a reputable media organization? If you're not informed about this, you keep spreading those lies. And when you spread those lies, some people who are not as enlightened as you are can, yes, either panic or even people can get too emotional and take laws into their hands over a fake news. You understand me? So there are a lot of things we need to do as youth. Another one is getting involved in your community. I know a lot of people where they stay, where they live, they just come in, enter their flats, lock up, that's all. They don't care about how do we secure this neighborhood? How do we secure this neighborhood? Because a lot of security today, if you expect the police, if you expect the conventional police, conventional security outfits to do this work, they can't be everywhere. Actually, Nigeria is the most under-policed nation in the world. I pity the police officers because every day we try to blame them. Look at how many police officers that are guiding VIPs. Look at how many of them that are how many people are doing the real police job. You expect one policeman to take care of a whole street. It's not possible. He can't know everything. It's now the people, the citizens that stay around that neighborhood, that community. It is you that are going to be informing the police. Actually, before, when I was growing up in my community, there are times the youths in the community, they arrest armed robbers, they arrest robbers and hand them over to the police. When you get involved in these kind of actions, you are performing your civic duties, your civic responsibilities as a youth. You can't wait for others to do it for you. You understand me? So sometimes when people are bringing plans on how to move the community, get involved. There's one or two ideas you might bring that will help in making your community a better place. So getting involved in things you do in your community is still another way of being responsible, doing your civic duty. Now, another one that is very, very important in today's Nigeria is tolerance. Tolerance. Nigeria is too polarized. If you talk about politics in any fora, tribalism seems to be the first consideration, then religion. And these two things are things that have divided us as a people, as youths. So it is now your civic responsibility to tolerate somebody from the other divide. If you are a traditionalist, for instance, you have to tolerate a Christian. You have to tolerate a Muslim. It must not be mine. I argued with somebody the other day. He was talking about Islamic fundamentalism. I told him it's not only in Islam that we have this fundamentalism. We have it in Christendom. We have it in traditional worship. We have it everywhere. What is that fundamentalism? That is it is just these people that believe that every other religion is false. It's only their own that is the true religion. And when you believe in these things and take it to the extreme, you are becoming intolerant. And this intolerance is killing our society. That is why we have religious wars, we have tribal wars. One thing I keep telling people is hunger doesn't know tribe. Hunger doesn't know religion. Insecurity doesn't know tribe. Insecurity doesn't know religion. The massacre, let me use it as an example. When the people entered the church, they did not say Yorubas go one side, Igbos go one side, Hausas go one side. They opened fire. People died. So we need to start practicing this tolerance, religious tolerance, ethnic tolerance, everywhere, everywhere. We need to, if we don't practice this tolerance, intolerance is going to engulf us, and we are all going to pay for it. Now, another aspect of this civic responsibility is passing on knowledge. If you know something and you don't teach the other people that maybe you are more informed than they are, it might become a waste at the end of the day. People go to some conferences, this conference, this one, they tell them a lot of things, they just come back and they act like nothing happened. The reason they choose people to go there is simply because maybe logistics cannot allow them carry everybody along.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we are doing this program now. Some people are listening to it. A lot of people are in the market, they are not listening to it. Now, is your civic responsibility as a youth. You've listened to this program. When those people that were not opportune to listen to it, when you interact with them, you tell them, boy, see what in the talk, you try and inform them. That way, you're passing this knowledge that you gain to other people. And when you pass this knowledge, you are doing your civic responsibility. Just like paying our taxes. When you pay your tax, you are doing your civic responsibility. I'm sorry that tax in this part of the world is not, maybe because the government has not been up and doing into that, providing all the things they're supposed to provide for the citizenry. In UK, for instance, they use tax to run the economy. They use tax to run the economy of the nation. But here you can't tell people to pay tax now when they don't have jobs, when we've not provided the basic amenities, and you want people to just pay tax like that. I'm not saying paying tax is bad. Please, everybody should endeavor to pay their taxes. Because if you pay your tax, then you can tell the government, this taxpayers' money, you're not utilizing it, you're not doing this. When you don't do this, your basic civic responsibilities, you don't expect the government to do theirs. Do you understand me? It is only when you've done the ones you can do that you can now go to the government and say, I don't do my part. How far your own part? Look at, we complain of bad government every day. Yet you are just sitting at home doing nothing. Doing nothing as a people. How did the Arab Spring start? They were youths that started it, not old men. Youths, if you don't get involved in, say, politics, if you don't get involved, old men will be, or irresponsible men. Let me not use old men because I have an aged father and he's very, very smart, very intelligent, very human. So if you don't get involved in politics, bad people are going to be elected. When bad people are elected, they'll make laws, they'll make bad laws that will only favor them. So I urge every youth to do all this, our little civic responsibility. It doesn't cost money to do these things. It doesn't. When you do these things, then you are assuring a better future for you and for your kids, both born and unborn. Yes.
Okay. So, while you were talking about the civic responsibilities, I was penning them down because I like to, have bullet points. So these are civic responsibilities, just like you've heard from Mr. Ifeanyi Chidube. He's a civic analyst and he is right here today trying to inform you, because since we don't shout human rights, waiting government owe us, waiting your fellow human being to owe you as another human being. But today we're going to be focusing also on your own responsibility, because this give and take. It is scratch my back, I scratch your back. If government is scratch your own, you self got scratch government on. And he has mentioned PVC as your civic responsibility. Not be something where they suppose they pursue you with cane to go do. But then, Mr. Ifeanyi, you mentioned PVC, you mentioned staying informed, you mentioned getting involved in your community. So I feel like getting involved in your community is the one that I want to start with.
Okay.
So, in Nigeria, a lot of people have this mind your business mentality.
Exactly.
Make I mind my business, so make wahala no come meet me for where I dey. Make I no go. You hear two people fighting, and if we're going to go by your lecture of civic responsibility, you're supposed to come out if you hear two neighbors fighting and they're destroying property. They're even going as far as inflicting injuries on themselves. You're supposed to come out and, why guy go take come out like you call it blue or like that. If you just since when they fight, police no come. Now that time when you won't go separate, now police go come. And I no follow. 30,000 don't go. So do you have any special way that you are going to convince people who have lived for so long with the notion of make I mind my business because of wahala? In as much as say I owe Nigeria or I owe my society civic responsibility, but better say wetin no consign me, make I no chook hand inside. If I yourself dey catch for compound wey dey near my own, make I just pass, because man no go put time for say no consign me.
Okay. This program say when the jingle they were saying know your rights. Okay. Now, if you know the constitution of Nigeria, a lot of us don't even I've not even seen this constitution of Nigeria. This is the markets there. They pass bills, pass resolutions on daily basis in the National Assembly. Okay, that is where one of the things I mentioned was staying informed. When you are informed, you'll be informed of all these your rights. I can't be where I'm separating a fight, police will come and say they're arresting everybody. I'll tell the policeman, you are lying, you are joking. You are joking. Now, you see, before this community involvement, if you hear in around your neighborhood in the night, people come out. But these days, you notice that if you hear any you'll be hearing people locking their gates.
Me
inside.
too. Me too, they lock door.
Exactly.
I will not come out.
That is where we're getting it wrong. Now, the person who is coming to perpetrate that crime knows that once he comes, everybody will run away.
Ma'am, exactly.
He will be emboldened to do more. But when he comes and realizes there was a robbery attack at I can't remember the place exactly, Edo State recently. They were escaping, the robbers were escaping, the community blocked their escape route. The robbers abandoned that money and ran away. It was on the internet everywhere.
They don't carry gun.
They were shooting, they killed a lot of people where they were at Uromi. That was at Uromi at Edo State. But where they were supposed to escape from, the community blocked the road. The robbers abandoned their route and ran away. Now, when you see two people fighting and you say it's not my business, there is one popular saying in Igbo land now, I don't care. It must reach you.
Yeah.
When insecurity started in our northeast, we thought it was far away northeast. That was how we were seeing it. We are just hearing Boko Haram did this, bomb this, northeast, you know, consign us. Little did we know that in less than a decade, it's going to come here. It's going to be here with us. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is this, see something, say something, well, we've been preaching. If you say, you know, concern me, you stay in your house. One day, I said, okay, those are two neighbors that are fighting in another flat. I mean, they started throwing bottle and maybe your car was parked there. You don't want to help and separate the fight. They break your windscreen. You're going to repair it. I don't know if you're getting me. You are going to repair it. If they break the glasses of your windows, you are going to repair it. Or if they decide to set the house on fire, because you are locked inside, you don't even care to know what is happening outside. You might get burned. So that is why we urge people. Don't just say, if If God had wanted to create only one person, he would just create one person. He won't give him the ability to reproduce. But he created us as a community so that we can be our brother's keeper. There's something I always tell people, when two people are quarreling, there's nothing like drum match in a quarrel. You have to tell this person, you are fault. In the US, for instance, they use the jury system. That jury system, they just select people randomly from the community. That jury, when you are selected as one of the juries, if you go there, you are performing your civic responsibility as well. They just pick people randomly to come and judge a case. The judge will just be there to be cautioning the attorneys. But those communities, those people from that community, they are the ones who are going to pass either a guilty verdict or not guilty verdict on the person. So you see, they are not just sitting at home and saying, concern me. So we should not say because of fear, we don't want to die, we don't want to die. We will not, if we see something wrong, we can't say it out. That way, if that thing finish killing those people outside, they will come inside to kill us. That is how I see these things, and that is how I want our youth to see these things.
Okay. So if you're just joining us right now, it is the Whisper to Humanity segment, Sabi Your Right. That is from 1:30 down to 2:30 p.m. It is 2 minutes past 2 o'clock, and we still have 28 more minutes to do this. And if you say you just join us now, you get why. Don't go anywhere, because we have an analyst in the building right now, and we are about to go on a musical break. And as soon as we are back, we would continue. Remember, today will not be about to tell you, say, if person touch you for market, think of you go prison. No, we don't live up law. Today, now, we are reminding you as a human being and as a citizen as well, the responsibility where you owe both your government and your neighbor. Because you don't hear, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. If it reach you too, nobody will care quite in the end. So make sure you stay here. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back, and we'll still have a lot more to talk about. Don't forget that the Youth Day celebration is coming up on the 12th of August. And of course, we want to hear the importance and why that particular day is a constant reminder as to your civic responsibilities as a youth. So don't go anywhere. It is the Tripod right here on Heritage 88.7 FM, the Sabi Your Right segment. What is it? The Whispers. Whispers. We want to change the narrative. Whispers.
narrative, and we want you to be involved. Whispers. We want to change the narrative. Change the narrative. The whispers. Whispers. We want to change the narrative. Narrative. Whispers.
And if you're just joining us now, we are out here with the Whisper to Humanity team and their expert guest, a civic rights analyst. And he's right here today telling us or trying to give a constant reminder as to your basic, what you're supposed to do for your environment, what you owe to your government, you owe to your neighbor, you owe to yourself as well. That's now what we call civic responsibility. And Mr. Ifeanyi Chidubede has been here today since 1:30 p.m. And if you're just joining us now, because I'm a good person, I will just reiterate what you have missed. So your civic responsibility, now basically those things where we say you owe to your society, you owe to that person when they live close to you, you owe to the government as well. And he listed 5 of them. No means saying only 5, but he said getting your PVC, staying informed, getting involved in your community, tolerance, and passing on knowledge. This passing on knowledge, oh, and what plenty people need to agree to. That's why I sabi. Make only me sabi. If I teach you now, you go know I'm passing. It's there for everywhere. It is in every single environment, even in business, you know, because you're doing this business and it's going well for you, and your friend can't tell you, teach me now, I know go teach him, Charlie. If I teach him now, who will take my customers, you know? And just like he said, a lot of you are not even aware of the Nigerian constitution, and then they sell them for markets. Not be waiting, you guys go any court, go collect. Then they sell them for markets, go and buy it. So you get to know just the way we did knock out for your head 2 weeks now, giving you every single thing that is contained in that violence against persons law that was passed in Imo State last year. We told you every single thing, even as small as those people where they touch you for road, for market. They touch you. If you go to White Club, they're going to touch you. They form name, they give you Nkechi, Chile, fine girl, my color. Anybody will touch you for market without your consent, we tell you it's an abuse. And the person gets minimum of 6 months to spend in prison. And it's not a joke. But because we don't come out for VAP law right now we are reminding you of your civic responsibilities to your society and to the government. So now, Mr. Ifeanyi, let us move on to the Youth Day. Is going to be coming up on the 12th of August, right? So what is the mission and vision behind that particular day? What was the aim, or how does that particular day celebration, what impact does it have on today's youth? You know, the International Youth Day is on the 12th of August, right? So yeah, what is that important role that particular day plays in the life of youth in particular?
Okay, you see, United Nations, they have all these days. They have days for particular things. Women, they for the girl child and all those things. They have these days to emphasize the importance of those, like the importance of youth in the society. That is why they have I don't call it a celebration, I call it an awareness day. That is the day youth needs to come together, ask yourself questions. The status quo, are we okay with it? Are we okay with the way things are working? Are we okay with the way our government is treating us? Are we okay with a lot of things? Are we okay with that? Our public universities are on strike for months now, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it. So this day was set aside for this kind of events. When this day was set aside, the United Nations didn't know that ASUU will be on strike. by today. You understand? So these are days that youth-based groups should come together. Even elected officials should bring youth from their constituencies together, interact with them, know what their problem is. I don't want tomorrow's celebration to just come and go and nothing is achieved. We start waiting for another 12th of August next year. I want us to use tomorrow's day. Let's achieve something significant with it. If we can do that, then I think we've joined the rest of the world in celebrating the International Youth Day. It's not about going to parties. It's not about like tomorrow is Friday. It's not about going to the club, celebrating International Youth Day, popping champagne. That is not what it's meant for. It's meant for soul searching. It's meant for, let's just ask ourselves questions. Let's review how we are contributing to the society, whether positively or negatively. That is why we're talking about this civic responsibility. You are talking. Let me make one correction. You said number one was PVC. It was not about PVC. I said getting involved in election. That's the number one point. Getting involved in election. That's number one point. Now, I don't know. I just want the various youth groups, the various NGOs, let them maximize the use of that tomorrow. Let them create this awareness. Let the youths know that we have the power to change the narrative. Let us know that we own this country by numerical advantage, by everything. The youth now, I'm not talking about only the male. I'm talking about male and female, because most times I feel like the girls don't want to get involved in politics. The girls don't want to get involved, or once they get involved, people say, wait till this girl they come to here, how woman go lead me? You know, we need to remove all this thinking from our head, from our environment. We need to come together as youths and speak with one voice. Once we do it, I think the authorities are going to listen to us.
So, do you think it is females don't want to get involved in politics, or the society where the females find themselves in do not permit them to be found in politics?
These things, they are both ways. They are both ways. That is why in Whispers, I love what they're doing. They're encouraging women to get to their full potential. We've seen women in power. Look at Germany. Merkel, after her tenure, they wanted her to continue. They wanted that continuity. She made Germany the biggest economy in Europe. She's a woman. And there they don't judge you from your sex. They don't. This is what we want replicated here in Nigeria. We don't want the office of the first lady. These things are not constitutional. We want women to come, run for office. Women come run for office. You go to SUG, a woman is always a secretary, sec general. What happens to a woman being the SUG president? What happens to a woman being a governor? We don't even have a female governor. We don't even have a female candidate in this election, in the leading political parties. We don't. It is wrong. Go to our National Assembly, go to the House of Assembly here. I think we have only two female lawmakers in Imo State House of Assembly out of 27. It's poor. Either 2 or 3. I'm not sure. But I'm sure I know 2 personally. I think they have either 2 or 3. These things are wrong. Women should get involved. Nobody is stopping you. Get involved. The society is changing. People are becoming aware of these things. It's not before that we just say men. It's not a men's word. No. It's not a men's word. It's our word. Humanity. That is what it is. Humanity doesn't have any sex at all. So we need to change these things. We need to change this narrative and start embracing the female gender as equals in intellect, in ability, in everything. We've seen women do exploits in Nigeria here. Look can start mentioning names. We've seen a lot of them in the past. A lot of them still doing more. Look at, we went for Commonwealth Games. All the gold we garnered there, we are from our female athletes. All the gold, Nigeria. This is our best performance since we started participating in the Commonwealth Games. The credit goes to the females. Look at our Super Falcons. They've qualified for World Cup. Our Super Eagles couldn't fly. And if you go and check their, what's it called, their match allowance and bonuses, you will find out that that of the Super Eagles will be triple of what they paid the Super Falcons that qualified us to the World Cup.
Stray bullets don't touch Super Eagles.
No, but it is true. We need to say these things. We need to say these things. You spend millions of dollars hiring a foreign coach for the Super Eagles, but to play the female team, there was a time they were protesting for non-payment. These things should not happen. It should not happen.
Okay, so just before I go to my next question, and just in case you want to have a chit chat or a communication way with the public analyst that we have in the building from the Whisper to Humanity team, the studio line to call in is 081-128-87887. The number again, 081-128-87887. Okay, so on to the next one. The International Youth Day celebration, do you think it holds water in Nigeria? Is it, you know, the way we're now we are quickly warming up to the International Women's Day, that's the 8th of March, and warming up to a few others. Growing up, we only knew the Independence Day in Nigeria, Children's Day, and, you know, the day we became a republic, Christmas and Salah. That's like the only thing to celebrate right here. But of recent, the International Women's Day became something that was of pretty much solid importance to Nigerians. So do you think that just the way 8th of March is becoming a household date, does the International Youth Day, does it look like it is holding enough water in Nigeria? Do you think the percentage of youths are even aware of the activities that goes on this day?
Okay. Let me say we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Like you rightly said, a few years ago, we didn't know about International Women's Day, but we're all aware of it now. This is why NGOs like Whispers to Humanities exist. This is why radio stations like Heritage FM exist. 2 years ago, you guys were not existing. Now, people are getting involved. The internet is there. It is now left for us, everybody, to play his role. That is this getting informed and passing on the knowledge, passing on the information. That is where we all have to get involved. Now, I'm here talking about this International Youth Day on Heritage FM. Anybody listening to Heritage FM will know that, hey, so every 12th of August, that's the people that didn't know, is International Youth Day. From there, other people will be doing other programs. Tomorrow, there will be a lot of rallies. And before you know it, it will become a movement. It will become a dreaded day for governments that are not performing around this country. State governors that are not performing, they'll remember that International Youth Day, something might happen. These youths might not wake up, they might talk about us, they might do this, they might do this. And from we are getting there. I'm not saying we're there yet, but we are getting there. Yes.
Okay, so on a personal level, as a public analyst, on a personal level, right, and I'm not talking about the general public, what does the International Youth Day, what does it mean to you? Because for you to have the tag public analyst, you should have a story. So what does that Youth Day, the 12th of August, does it have any personal meanings to you?
Of course.
Okay.
As a youth, it does. Like our birthdays have meaning to us. In 365 days, you have one day for yourself. Is it not? Now, this International Youth Day is one day out of 365. For me, as a youth, personally, it's a day. What I normally do those days is I go to one school, one secondary school, and have at least 1 hour with them, talk with them, try and orient them about life, because it's not everything that they will teach them in school. So that day, I always set it aside to go for youth, what's it called? Reorientation. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to a club, a football club. They train every Friday. I'll go there tomorrow. I'll talk to them. I've talked to their coach. They'll just give me 1 hour before training. I've told them to come out 1 hour before their normal time. Let's interact as youth. Because some of them, because of issues of life, some people will not even be listening to this program now. They might be somewhere hustling to make ends meet. So that is my little way. Even if it's 30 players, 40 players, I'm able to interact with tomorrow. I've had a fun-filled youth day. And I want all of us to look at that day like that. That is a day set aside for all of us, youth. One day out of 365. I know how women celebrate their day. They bring down the roof. When women are doing that, we don't even know Men's Day, Father's Day, International Father's Day. It's not celebrated like the women do. So I want youths to come out and celebrate this our day. Let's make it a memorable one. Let's ask ourselves the questions we need to ask. Let's ask our leaders, our representatives. Let's talk to the youth that are not informed, that are not privileged. Let's just do something extraordinary that day. For me, I've told you how I spend my International Youth Day. I've been doing that for the past 10 years. I've been doing it for the past 10 years. And believe me, I see some people, I don't even know them. They remind me of the day we met, what happened, and I just go home a fulfilled man. That's it.
Okay. So you spoke about going to meet a football club tomorrow. I have a very important question. Are you bringing food? So that I don't know whether I'm going to come. I don't play football, but I can learn.
If you don't play football, how will you eat? If I'm bringing any refreshment, it's for the players, not for you.
I'm a player. It doesn't matter what I play. It mustn't be football. Okay, so the Whisper to Humanity team that brought the public analyst to us, I want to throw this to one of their team members. He's right here, Omachi. Does Whisper to Humanity have any plans, any special plans for tomorrow, for the International Youth Day? Do they have any plans whatsoever? And if they do, give people details, especially item 7. People like me. I want to hear.
Why are you interested in this item 7?
If anywhere you want to bring, if you think you can use food to lure me to anywhere, you are correct. You can lure me to anywhere.
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of activities tomorrow, which is coming up on the 12th. On the 12th is not far from now.
Yeah,
it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we have been preparing. We have made so many things available. The games, the Whisper games, the Whisper currency. You come, you win the Whisper currency, which is the money, and you spend it there to buy anything you want. We have packages that will be there for you. When you win the money, you spend the money there, right there, and get whatever you want. Whether it's clothes, whether it's drinks, whether it's fruits, whatever you want. And aside that, not just playing games and winning and buying, but there are refreshments. You see something that you call meat free. Yeah, that's one of the amazing stuff which is blowing my mind.
I go, Gloria.
Tomorrow, you see a meat tree, like a suya tree. It's just like a tree, like a mango tree, but everything you see there is meat. So you just come, refresh, play the games, and change your mind.
Give us location. Give us location.
Our location is at Whisper to Humanity Space, which is at number 36 in Joko Crescent, World Bank. Yeah, you can also visit our online platforms, which is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Just check us out there, send us a DM, and we are going to reply you within 30 minutes. Yeah.
Don't say I did not do anything good for you.
I beg, when you come prepared, because now the minds of the youth.
Go and drink,
know they dull at all.
Go and drink purging medicine. Don't say I did not do anything good for you. Sure. You have heard it. Tomorrow, is there any time? What's the time it's supposed to start? Or come for morning, go for night. That's how they like.
No, we are starting as early as 9 o'clock because our activities are much and it's back to back. You know, people come on sleep or come on dull or anything.
Please give out the address again. For
our address is number 36 in Joko Crescent.
Okay.
World Bank.
Okay. Is there any gate fee?
There is no gate fee.
Come for
There
free.
is
Oh.
just come, feel among. It's International Youth Day. It's our day, so we have to make use of it. Because this day is just coming once a year.
Tripod Farm,
Yeah.
don't say I didn't do anything good for you. I brought free food to you. But most importantly, you would be reminded of your power as a youth, the power that you wield, the power that you possess as a youth. And then to round up, Mr. Ifeanyi, what encouraging, should be told, the youths out there, I'm pretty sure a lot of them know that they hold power, that they wield power as a youth. But then the circumstances, I feel like just too funny using that word now. But the circumstances around or surrounding the environment where we are does not allow the youth to actually believe that they wield that kind of power. So what encouraging word or what encouraging piece can you put out there telling those youths who are listening to you right now? Because believe me, youths, this is a youth, this tripod is a youth program. It's the target audience are youths. Because it's an entertainment show. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them are out there listening, say, this or that way the same way we do civic responsibility. Not be say we don't want to do, but you get some kind of things where we go just look, we go say, we just mind our business. What are those encouraging lines that you can put out there and tell them that as a youth, you wield this power, and even though the circumstances are not welcoming or favorable enough, you still wield them, and it is still in your hands to be able to dictate as to what you want, as to what can make your environment better. So how, as a public analyst, can you encourage the people who are out there listening to you and who will tell somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody?
Okay, I'm not a motivational speaker.
Please don't be.
Yes, I'm a realist.
Mm.
Yes, our political environment doesn't really encourage participation.
Yeah.
But that does not mean we should not participate. Because like I said earlier, if we don't vote the right people, the wrong people will be voted in. So let's start from voting people that are going to make youth-friendly laws, youth-friendly policies. Like they say, this not too young to run bill. Yes, it's a good bill, but you ask yourself how much are campaigns? Before you run a campaign, even if it's a local government campaign in Nigeria, you have to have at least 20 to 50 million. You understand me? So let's vote people who are going to cut down the cost of governance first. So that if they cut down the cost of governance, they will make these public offices less attractive. And when they make it less attractive, someone like me can run for governorship of Imo State tomorrow. And when I win, the youths are certainly going to smile. They're going to say one of our own is there. That is what we are praying for. That is what I encourage every. Let's not give up. Let's keep doing this as civic responsibilities. This 2023 that is coming, let's come out en masse and vote. I'm not campaigning for anybody. I'm not going to call any name. But inside us, the youth, we know the right people. From their utterances, from their trajectory, from their past records, we know the people that are good. Let's vote for these people and protect these votes. That's another thing. Let's vote and protect these votes. Let's not say after all my vote doesn't count. It does count. If your vote doesn't count, nobody will be paying you 5,000 to vote. So votes do count. Let us just keep hoping and praying that this country gets better. The power is in our hands. Let's not lose hope. The only motivational quote I'm gonna drop to the youth is don't lose hope in Nigeria.
Don't lose hope. And as you've heard it, you know that person. If na Tom go make Nigeria better, go and vote Tom next year. If na Harry go make him better, go and vote Harry and make sure see your votes count. The truth is that a lot of us grew up with that mentality, they count. But they count. If you never go vote, you no go know. So please do go out. That is your civic responsibility as a youth and as a citizen of Nigeria. In fact, of any nation you find yourself. But we're using Nigeria right now as a case study. This one was packaged for you by Whisper to Humanity. They are a youth-led feminist organization who have come on radio because they don't see say mouth to mouth. If you know go the kind distance where they want them. So they have brought your human rights lecture straight to radio to you for a broader audience. And today we were talking and highlighting about civic responsibilities of the youth in respect to the coming International Youth Day celebration that's going to hold tomorrow. and you've heard it, that Whisper to Humanity has something packaged for you tomorrow, and they mentioned their address. But just in case you didn't get their address, you can go on all the social media, their Twitter, their Instagram, LinkedIn, Whisper to Humanity. And they also have a phone app. They have an app that is available for Android users and iOS users, those iPhone users who would have made it in life. Yes, you can also find the Whisper to Humanity app as well. So make sure you see, they have said they have Suya 3. Let me tell you something. See, listen to me. If nothing will motivate you to participate tomorrow, let that suya that you heard, they say it's 3. You know what a 3 is? That is full of suya. So you go just the plug and shape. You plug in the suya.
Sure.
Oh my God. And there's no gate fee, right? There is no gate fee at all. So please do reach them out. Is there a number? How much is there a number they can send a text or chat on WhatsApp? You know?
There is a number.
Okay. So what is the number?
081
081
54
54
01
01
4746.
4746. You have heard it. So don't say, I no get Instagram or I don't call number. That phone where they use, they make call. If you know they do Instagram, but they make call. So tomorrow, let it be cast on stone. Let it be inscribed in your heart that on the 12th of August is International Youth Day. It is a day set aside to celebrate and remind the youth of the kind of power that they wield in every single nation they find themselves. And today, Whisper to Humanity brought alongside their team members a public analyst, Ifeanyi Chidube, who is right here. He has been celebrating International Youth Day since 2012, if I'm not wrong. That is 10 years now and counting. I see no reason why you should not be part of it. Mr. Ifeanyi, it was a pleasure having you. Any parting sentences? Do you have any? I asked you about your own celebration because it'd be like saying that your own. I don't know. This Whisper people, if you don't see me finish,
I told you
if I go there now, they will. If I go to that Whisper their own now, they will say because they know me, they're not gonna pay me attention. So I don't want where they have seen me finish. This will not see me finish.
They have a Suya 3, so you can go and plug on your own.
So you don't have Suya 3.
I don't have Suya 3.
So you will not give any food in your own. No worry, that was day. All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And make sure you do follow Whisper to Humanity on every social media handle. They're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as Whisper to Humanity. And also for their apps, they are available for iOS and Android users as well. We're going to do this same time, same station next week, Thursday, from 1:30 p.m. down to 2:30 p.m. Goodbye for now. My name is Dara. Let us catch on the tripod tomorrow, once again by 12:30. And the Whisper to Humanity Sabi Your Right segment will come up next week, Thursday, by 1:30 p.m. Don't touch that dial. Today is also Trendy Thursday right here on Heritage 88.7 FM. I'm giving you trendy music back to back. So